Hi, everybody. I'm the Kitchen Mom. Um, Today's episode is a little different. My family and I just got back from London. And since I've been working my way through the Great British Baking Show Cookbook Love to Bake, I just wanted to kind of go over some of the things I discovered while I was over there. Now, this was not my first trip to London. This was actually trip number 3 for me. But it was the first time for my kids, which was great. It was a lot of fun. I do very much love London. That's why I've returned to it multiple times. I just this time because I've been baking British bakes so much, it was just a different experience. I was not able to get into a grocery store proper, unfortunately, because we our hotel was right near the Tower of London, and I just couldn't find one close to there. And while we were out and about, I just didn't think about it. But we did find a C store, or convenience store, Tesco, that I was able to look at a couple different things that they have. One of which was Damara sugar. You know, it's just like one of those things. Just like I wish I could have taken a checked bag home with all of the weird things, like golden syrup. I got to see what it looked like. I've been using honey or maple syrup to substitute in all my recipes, but I just wanted to crack one open and taste it. But it was like this big, the container, and I was like, I am not buying it. Regular things that I can't find, muscovado sugar, just sitting in their C store, which is just funny. Also, you can buy like pre-made cute little pastries. I mean, I just don't see that in our grocery stores, at least not good ones. Little Debbie doesn't count. But so I picked up like some pre-made scones, and we tried some little tarts, little jelly, the jam tarts. They were really good. For a packaged version, it was quite good. I was impressed. We did have some fresh scones. We in the Tower of London cafe. I was able to try like a sausage roll. What was it? It was a Cumberland apricot sausage roll. I have that out of order, I'm sure, but it was very tasty. My husband did comment on the fact that the sausage itself was not very flavorful. Like, we put a lot of spices in our sausage in the States, and I actually really liked it because then you could taste the apricot. I would not have been able to taste the apricot with all of the spices that we normally put in our sausage. So I liked that. And then the flaky pastry around the outside was just delicious. And then I had a Victoria sponge cake while I was over there with that meal because, I had to try one. And it's so funny because it's just jam and like a little bit of icing. It's a very thin layer, but it was just so good. We cake on our icing here, and sometimes it's just overpowering. And that's maybe just my taste buds changing, because before I started baking through this cookbook, too rich was not something I understood. Like, you could not have too sweet or too rich of something as a dessert. Now I definitely see that. I'm like, that's way too much. Maybe my taste buds have changed quite a bit. But that Victoria sponge cake was very good. My husband got a scone at that time too, fresh baked scone. It even had raisins in it, and he does not like raisins, and he was like in heaven. It had clotted cream on top and jam. The clotted cream was just like whipped butter to me. That's all it tasted like, but it was good. But I don't know why we can't just whip up some butter and make clotted cream. They serve jelly in like the cutest little jars. I had to bring one back because it's just like cute. Other things I noticed that are weird. First off, Starbucks. What are you doing selling uh, a sandwich with Marmite in it? Okay, I just had to take a picture of that because it was disgusting. Straws, paper straws are a thing. You cannot have plastic straws. Paper everywhere. Paper straws are not necessarily the best as far as integrity. They do deteriorate quite quickly while you're drinking. So that was weird. I understand it. It's just strange. They also only use wooden utensils. So, like, when you go to the cafe, you don't get a plastic fork and knife. You get a wooden fork and knife. I would have brought one back, but I did not want security to like think I'm weird for having a wooden knife in my carry-on. But yeah, it was weird. And I didn't necessarily love eating off them. You had to kind of perfect like the teeth grabbing off the food, because when you like used your lips and your tongue to like pull the food off the fork, you tasted the wood, and that was not my favorite. So a little weird. Again, I understand what you're trying to get at, but I don't know if wood is the correct utensil or material there. That was my little adventure into London. We had a great time. It was a whirlwind trip. My girls loved it. And I hope to go again someday. So yeah, if you have any questions, especially as far as traveling with kids, London is a perfect place to start because their public transportation is just on point. Like you can get anywhere, no car seats. It was great. But yeah, shoot me a question if you have it, and make sure you like and subscribe so you can see all of my bakes on this Great British Baking Show. Love to Bake Cookbook. All right, and I will see you next bake.